I am Saturday Sephora summertime sale hauling for you guys today. I'm just going to start off with how my box came. Sephora used to package things so well a few years ago, and then I think they got another shipping company or something, and now I've never had so many like broken items and stuff. But anyway, this is how my box came, and I ordered a lot of stuff and they shipped it in one of these small style boxes, so much so that the deliverer had to write damaged on the box. It's kind of taped up too, so I don't know if one of my items fell out or if they just forgot to package it, but I did order the Pharmacy Very Cherry Bright 15% clean vitamin C, I think it's a serum, and that is shipped, supposed to be here on Monday, I think, along with another item that came damaged. I'll probably, I got a few more things in my bucket, so I'll probably do like another haul before the sale ends, which I think it's good through, I want to say the 29th, which is pretty good, because I just saw that Norvina from Anastasia Beverly Hills is coming out with a new larger sized eyeshadow palette, and they switched up the packaging. It's like an all new design. I was like, yes, finally. So I really hope that I can get that palette during the sale. But let me get into the things that I do have. I finally picked up the last one of the Tom Ford eye color quads that I wanted with the fabulous baked jelly formula. I have been loving the 4 quads that I got. They're more his recent releases with this baked jelly formula, so I decided to go ahead and get double Indemnity as well, number 05, and this was so damaged. I didn't notice till kind of just now, but there's a dent in the lid right here. These do come with a little velvet pouch and little applicators and stuff like that, but I want to swatch this for you guys because I really like this formula from Tom Ford, but I probably won't end up using this because the mirror, when I opened this up, the mirror was so shattered, like little tiny pieces of glass everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought for sure that the shadows were going to be destroyed, but the shadows are actually intact, but there's like little pieces of glass in there. I tried to like clean it out as best that I could, but I don't think it's really usable. But I'll be sending it back to get a replacement, but at least I can swatch these for you guys. Like, this was so damaged. I was like, of all things too, you know, powder is one thing to be scattered everywhere, but glass is a whole nother deal. So anyway, this is the Tom Ford Double Indemnity 05 quad. Same, the formula of this is so nice. Everything is shiny, but there's just something about the all shininess of these newer quads that I just think is so pretty. Actually, I've been enjoying kind of all shiny everything all over lately. This actually kind of looks similar to what I have on, but I don't have these on because obviously I wasn't about to use them. But at least I could give you guys some swatches, and it's more like a smoky type of a look with some cooler undertones, which I think is so pretty for kind of anytime, but more so going into the fall. So that's the Tom Ford 05 Double Indemnity quad right there. And then next I got the Kat Von D Crushes Cream Foil Longwear Eyeshadow in the shade Silver Chrome. It came in one of these like zip type bags. I originally wanted to get both of the shades, but the like rose taupey kind of shade was already sold out, so I'm hoping it comes back in stock before the sale ends. I doubt it, but I hope. And this is actually the shiny shadow that I have on my lids today. Granted, this makeup that I'm wearing today is extremely lived in. I've had it on since 6:30 this morning, and it's almost 6:30 this evening. Yeah, I've had this on for about 12 hours. I did use this over top of the eyeshadow primer, the Bare Minerals foundation stick, which I probably should have never did because this is a cream eyeshadow. So this did kind of crease on me during the day. So I just kind of patted over it with my finger. I think if I use it alone, it won't do that. But it's just a super high shine, super foiled eyeshadow. There's 0.078 ounces of product that's in here. This is just so high shine, you guys. And it's supposed to be long wear, so hadn't I put down that primer, I'm thinking it probably would have never, look at that, that's crazy. It probably would have never creased. And I did use it on a brush. It picks up a little bit heavy on a brush, and it kind of blends out a little better with the finger, but you can use a brush like it did pick up product. Isn't that's some crazy finish. So it comes in a twist off plastic jar like that, but just super pretty, super chromed out eyeshadow right there. And that again is in the shade Silver Chrome from the Cream Foil Longwear Eyeshadow from Kat Von D. I also got a couple skincare items. I got this Biossance Squalene Plus Cream eye cream. algae eye cream on the other side. It's English on the other side of the box. 0.5 ounces of product. It says visibly firms and instantly smooths the eye area. Granted, these 3 skincare products, I can't give you a full-on opinion on them because I've only just gotten them this week. But I can say that I did layer this with the First Aid Beauty Retinol eye cream that I use. And it's a little bit lighter than I thought that it was going to be. This is what the box packaging looks like. This is a newer product from Biossance. They originally just had their eye cream that was in a pump, which is even thinner than this one right here. But this is more of a cream type of formula. But I have a really dry eye area, so I do need something a little bit heavier. And it's pretty light, so it comes in a jar like that with a little stopper on it. I didn't have any reactions or anything like that on my skin, so that's good because the skin around my eyes is also quite sensitive, so that's good. I'll keep playing around with it, and if it ends up being a love or something like that, you guys will be hearing about it in a video at some point. I want to do a favorites video on Sunday. We'll see how that goes. I also purchased these 2 new products from Glow Recipe. I got the Avocado Melt Retinol Sleeping Mask, which is the larger jar. There's 1.7, I think this is. Nope, 2.37 fluid ounces of product in this jar. And then I got the Avocado Melt Retinol Eye Sleeping Mask. I haven't used the face one just yet. I've been a little bit chicken. So I will use this eventually. I think Glow Recipe has some of the cutest packaging on their skincare. I've tried quite a few products from Glow Recipe. I love their watermelon face spritz. And I also used up almost a half a jar of their pineapple vitamin C serum. And I do like that as well. It's one of the few vitamin C products that I've used on my skin that I haven't gotten any strange reactions out of. I've been trying to find a vitamin C that works well with my skin, and it's been posing pretty difficult, but that one worked out pretty well with my skin. I still use it off and on, and then I'm going to try out that new one from pharmacy as well as soon as it decides to get here. And I have used the eye mask. I just have been putting it underneath my eyes, again layered with that First Aid Beauty eye cream that I've been using for a while. And again, with retinol, with my sensitive eye skin, I haven't had any reactions with this guy yet, and I've used it, I want to say 3-4 times now. So I'm kind of excited about both of these products. I'll keep you posted. And I just think that the packaging is so pretty. I'm excited that this has retinol in it, and I've used it again only underneath the eyes, and I haven't had no itchiness or irritation. I really am excited about that because usually retinol products just really fry my skin, and up until that First Aid Beauty eye cream, I hadn't found a retinol that I could even use around my eyes. And then lastly, in the skincare realm, I had to go ahead and purchase another one of the Belif, the True Cream Moisturizing Balm. This is the 3.38 fluid ounce tub, so this is the big guy. It's about twice the size as the other jar. I just think it's you save a little bit more money when you get it in the larger size, and I go through it relatively quickly. The bigger ones do last me obviously quite a bit longer than the smaller ones, and again, like I said, you save a little bit of money, but this is just my favorite nighttime moisturizer. It just does my skin really well. I also like to mix it with different oils and stuff like that and put it on my face after all of my other kind of treatment products and stuff. I purchased another set of lashes, which I already cut down, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about these guys. These are the Huda Beauty Farrah number 12 Faux Mink eyelashes. I cut off one little chunk, or no, 2 little chunks off the end of these. This particular lash is a little bit longer, and it's not, the lashes on this one are not as fine. I feel like they're a little bit more noticeably fake looking than some others, and the band on this particular one is super, super thick. I haven't worn them yet, but I'm kind of on the fence about this guy. I also purchased the new Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Kabuki Buff Foundation Brush. My box, a lot of the stuff in my box came really jacked up looking. But this came out when she released her new hydrating foundation, and I really liked the Fenty brushes. I think they're super cool, super soft, great functional synthetic brushes. I'm tempted to try that foundation. I swatched the original foundation that she came out with in the store and stuff, and it just felt too heavy for something that I like to put on my skin, but I'm intrigued by the lighter version. So hopefully they have it in Sephora when I make it to town. But I went ahead and I bought the brush. It's just a good style kabuki brush. I think it would be good for kind of contour bronze stuff too. And I just really like the Fenty brushes. I also got 2 of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealers. I had heard really good things about these, and I wasn't sure what shade to get. Like the way that they looked online looked really off, but I went by the description after it. So I got 1C, which is light cool, which looks really far from a cool undertone. It looks really, really like yellow. So I was very surprised that it looks like that yellow. And then I got the shade 0.5 Ultra Light Neutral. I have got 0.5 Ultra Light Neutral underneath my eyes today. And if you are super, super fair, this shade here, which is their lightest, is still going to be, I think, too dark for you. I did set it with the RCMA No Color Powder. And I think that the formulation of this concealer is very, very nice. But from what I'm seeing, the shade range, at least for my really pink, more fair kind of skin tone, is quite, it's a little iffy. And then my tube here, it's dented to the 9s on the 0.5, again from the damaged up package. But this is the shade that I have on today. Again, it's 0.5N, and it's a neutral undertone. And then I got the next lightest one with a cool undertone, and that's 1C Light. And this is just, I was just very confused by this, not gonna lie. This isn't cool. This is not a cool undertone. Like when I compare it to like their pink corrector or even some of my other concealers, that's just very, it just looks, I don't know, it just looks warm to me. And it is quite dark as well for being a light shade. So there's 0.5 and there's 1C right there. And that again is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer. This was the other new concealer that I wanted to try in addition to the other one that I got, which is Benefit's new Boing Cakeless Concealer. This one I wore this yesterday. I'm still kind of forming some opinions on it. It is a little bit thicker in consistency than what I thought it was going to be, because there's been so many high coverage concealers with a super thin consistency that cover really well. So I was surprised that this does have a little bit heavier feel, but it blended out really nice, and I think it looked nice underneath the eyes as well. This is number 1, which I believe is the lightest shade that they have in the range. And even that one next to the Lauder ones looks a little more peachy pink. They're all very different tones, and again, this is the lightest one in the Lauder, and I believe this is the lightest one in the Benefit Boing Concealer. It's this guy right here, the Boing Cakeless. And I want to try this with a different setting powder because I hadn't used the RCMA, which is one that I use quite often underneath the eyes. I had used it with the new Mcgrath powder that I had also purchased. It's the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection setting powder, and I got the lightest shade, Light 1. And it's not quite as brightening as something as the RCMA. It looks beautiful underneath the eyes, but it's not very brightening like something like the RCMA or the Fenty Beauty Lavender powder or something like that. I've set a few concealers with this powder, and it just doesn't give that brightening effect that some of the other powders that I use, which sometimes there's a place for that, and I don't mind that. But when I'm looking for a brightening effect, or like, you know, I haven't got no sleep this week, I need a little bit more of a pick-me-up and a little bit more brightness than what this powder gives. But that being said, here's the Boing, and then here are the Estee Lauders right here, so you can see the colors. And then let's talk about this guy here. So it's the Mcgrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Setting Powder in Light 1. Love the packaging. Super cool packaging. It's almost like a pack of cigarettes. I've set my under eyes with a few different concealers with this powder, and the finish is super pretty. Like, the powder is very finely milled. It looks really pretty. I just wish it had a little bit more of a brightening effect for underneath the eyes on my skin tone. Other than that, the powder's gorgeous, and I have set my whole face with it, and it's a beautiful setting powder on the skin as well. I use the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation, and it's a really pretty combination. The one thing that I can say is you only get 0.17 ounces of product in here, and if memory serves me, this is around like 50 bucks. This is extremely expensive for the amount of product that you're getting. And in comparison, you get 0.9 ounces or 25 grams in the new Anastasia Beverly Hills loose setting powder, which I actually set my face with the ABH today. This is what I have on, is the shade Translucent. I don't use it underneath my eyes, but it's okay for a face setting powder. But yeah, 25 grams compared to 5 grams. And this one, 30-ish and 50-ish. So I'm kind of I was really surprised when I looked at the amount of product on here, because I didn't look initially when I ordered it, and then I was like, ooh, this is pretty. And when I really like a setting powder, I typically go through them kind of quickly unless it's the size of ABH. So I was like 0.17, if I use that every day consistently, I'm going to blow through it pretty quickly, and that's a high price tag. But the powder itself, again, is very, very pretty. I wish they had a little bit more of a brightening shade for a really fair skin tone for underneath the eyes, because again, I like the finish underneath the eyes. But this is what the packaging looks like. There really isn't a stopper or anything, but there is a mesh screen inside up here to pick that powder up. And that is the shade Light 1. It is a beautiful powder though. And then lastly here, I purchased 3 products from the Marc Jacobs, and I'm going to say it, in August. They're calling this the holiday collection from what I hear. A little soon, man. So this is the Marc Jacobs Omega Glaze All Over Foil Luminizer in the shade 81 Showstopper. And this is what the box packaging looks like. This comes with a massive amount of product for a highlighter, 0.35 ounces or 10 grams. The packaging on this guy is got like glitter sparkles shot through it, which is really pretty. I really like the 80 Worth the Wait that came out earlier this year. It's really good for my skin coloring. It blends out nice. I just have to be sure to buff it out because it can look a little heavy if I don't really blend it into the skin. Other than that, I really like that highlighter. This one could be a little bit brighter on my skin tone, and then also it's got micro glitters through it quite a bit. I don't feel like it's as smooth looking on the skin. I don't want to say chunky, but there are those micro glitters in there. I prefer the Worth the Wait highlighter over this guy. And again, it's just a hair, it could be just a little bit lighter for my skin tone. And I'll swatch it next to the other shade as well. You know, but if you're a deeper skin tone than me, you might really like this, but do be mindful that there are micro glitters in this powder. Oh, the packaging is super pretty on this guy. Right there. And then I'll swatch it next to the other one too. It's got a pretty good peachy pink shift to it. So here is the shade Worth the Wait. The formulation does feel kind of similar in that you can feel some silicones in there, but I think because there's those micro glitters, they're fine. They're really fine micro glitters, but they are there. It makes the powder feel not quite as smooth as this one. So you can see the difference between the two. You know, I feel like this one's, you know, got a little bit more shine to it, and maybe that's because it's lighter and it shows up better on my skin. But that is the new one from the holidays in Showstopper from Marc Jacobs. Lastly here, I picked up 2 of the new Sequins Glam Glitter Eyeshadows, also from that same Marc Jacobs collection. I believe there were 4 that were released, and I have quite a few of these, and they're just some super, super pretty eyeshadows. So the first one that I got is the shade 94 Smash Glitz, which is kind of a purpley pink toned one. These do come with a stopper. So I'm always nervous that I'm going to like plop the whole thing out, but let me swatch this guy for you. It's right there. So that is the shade Smash Glitz. It's got a little bit of a duochrome in there as well. Some pretty, like, you can see some very fine pink and purple and silver kind of micro glitters in there. I love the multi-dimensional effects of these guys. And then the other shade I got is number 100 in Stardust. And I think the cover on these guys is pretty too. It's that same kind of glitter effect. And this one is, it's like a peach with gold and pink. And just, again, another kind of multi-dimensional eyeshadow product that I think is super pretty. Here, this is what it looks like in the tub there. That's Stardust 100. And there it is on my finger. And then we'll swatch it right here. Just really pretty products from Marc Jacobs. I'm tempted to get the other 2, but they look like they're both darker shades, and I don't often wear those super dimensional shadows that are really dark like that. I like a kind of a lighter shade on the lid, but they're just so pretty. And so far, those are all the things that I picked up from the summer sale from Sephora. I'm probably going to place one more order. We'll see. Again, I want to get that Norwegian palette, and I sure hope it releases on Sephora during the sale. That would be wonderful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.